Hi everybody, it's Amy Caroline. Welcome back to a brand new video Welcome back to my channel. So so it is time for another ghost train story So the story that I'll be reading to you guys today is called Glowing Eyes on the Track, Glowing Eyes on the Tracks, Glowing Eyes on the Train Tracks. And then after that, I'm going to show you guys an example of what I want Ghost Train to look like on the Travel Channel. This story is in my Ghost Train book. This will give you guys an example of what Ghost Train should look like on the Travel Channel if it ever gets broadcasted on the Travel Channel and broadcasted on TV one day, okay? Okay? So without further ado, Glowing Eyes on the Tracks. Here we go. One day in 1927, an 18-year-old boy was walking home from a movie show in Pikeville, Kentucky. A town located on the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway in the eastern part of the state. It was about midnight. There had been a big storm and the water was high. The boy walked into a cut near Cedar Creek and saw them two eyes a few inches apart. He could see them glowing in the darkness, but they vanished whenever the lightning flashed. They vanished whenever the lightning flashed. The boy got off the train tracks and threw two big rocks at the eyes, and they seemed to go right through the thing. The boy couldn't figure out what the thing was. It wasn't a train. In fact, it didn't make any noise at all. The thing kept coming nearer and nearer, going straight down the train tracks. After it passed the frightening boy, he couldn't see the eyes anymore. So, what walked down the CN tracks that midnight back in 1927? I don't know. I don't know what it was. He was walking down the train tracks and saw two eyes. It might have been a ghost. He already knows it wasn't a train. It might have been a ghost. Anyway, it might have been a person as a ghost or as a spirit or something. I don't know what it was. So glowing eyes on the tracks. I'm going to read one more story and then I'm going to show you guys my example on haunted hotels and what Ghost Train should look like on the Travel Channel if it ever becomes a documentary like Haunted Hotels was on the Travel Channel. I'm going to show you guys an example from the TV show Haunted Hotels, and you let me know. And also, if you live in the United States and you work for the Travel Channel, you work for the Travel Channel company, let me know if Ghost Train should be a documentary on the Travel Channel, okay? Okay. So I'm going to read one more story. Um, uh, this one is called Yazoo, Mississippi Valley Ghost Train. Yazoo, Mississippi Valley Ghost Train. A young African-American brakeman was working a freight from Cleveland, Mississippi to Memphis, Tennessee in 1913. So this takes place back in the 1913, okay? Back in the year of 1913, way back in the old days. The train had orders to meet another train, number 777, at Shelby, Mississippi. The brakeman was riding 3 cars back from the engine. Suddenly the train made an emergency stop, and the engineer whistled out a flag to protect the front of the train. The brakeman jumped off the freight car he was riding and ran ahead. He had his white lantern, and as he ran by the engine, the fireman handed him a red lantern. The brakeman ran a couple of yards, of 100 yards ahead, to a tangent section of the track. As he did, he could hear his train reverse and back away. The brakeman was left alone at his post for over 2 hours. Finally, he heard his train slowly approaching. The brakeman stood in the middle of the track and signaled with the red lantern to show where he was. The engine stopped and the brakeman climbed in. The crewmen in the cab were silent. The brakeman set his lanterns down and took a seat. Finally, the conductor spoke. "What did you see while we was gone, Suggs?" "Not a thing, sir, except for my own lanterns," the brakeman said. "We seen a train, Suggs." The man said, 300 yards ahead of us here. We thought we'd overlooked orders and met number 777 between stations. So we whistled out a flag and stopped, but then there wasn't no train. Cambridge. He looked over at the engineer and the fireman, and they nodded. So we backed up to Cleveland and wired ahead to Shelby to be sure. Number 777 has been waiting there on a siding for us the whole time. There isn't any other train. The 3 men sat silent while the young brakeman began to shake with fear. He started to think about standing there alone by himself for 2 hours. What if the ghost train what if the ghost train had run by when the freight got to Shelby? Number 777 was still there, waiting for them on the siding. As word of the ghost train spread, several engineers told of seeing ghost lights between Cleveland and Shelby. This was the first time anyone had seen a phantom train. Old timers said a train had wrecked along there around the turn of the century, killing the engineer and fireman. Was the wrecked train returning as a ghost? So anyway, so hopefully this story will be on the Travel Channel. Hang on, let me shut my door. Okay, so hopefully this story will be on the Travel Channel, and when I show you guys haunted hotels, it's gonna show the people going back in time to when they were back in the old days and stuff like that, like in the 1800s and the 1900s and stuff like that. It's gonna show it like that. And it's also gonna show them returning as a ghost and as a spirit and stuff like that too. So that's what Ghost Train has to do. Okay? All right? I hope you guys enjoyed this stories. I hope you guys enjoyed these stories, and I hope you guys enjoyed these stories, and here comes my example from haunted hotels, okay? And like I said, it's going to show the stories going back in time and the people going back in time on the screen, and it's also going to show them it's also going to show them as a ghost and as a spirit, and also it's going to show them returning as spirits. Okay, so that's what Ghost Train has to do. That is what the documentary of Ghost Train has to do. If it ever gets if it ever gets put on the Travel Channel, okay. So without further ado, here we go, folks. My example from haunted hotels. Here it is.
For many, a hotel room is meant to be a respite from the stress of travel, a place to relax and unwind. But in a haunted hotel, these cozy rooms transport unsuspecting guests to mysterious worlds where the dead walk again.
You don't know what's underneath here, and they must still be wanting to come out.
This is the most haunted hotel in Edinburgh.
In Scotland, hundreds of plague victims, long since dead, rise again into the halls of the hotel. A monk who lived and died hundreds of years ago blesses overnight guests in this Irish castle.
When that happens, it just drains your body. Particularly for me, I know my legs just almost go like jelly.
A frantic husband still roams the site of a horrible accident, desperate for help that would come too late.
He loved her so much. His spirit kept going and kept running, help, please help her, please help her.
And in Arizona, a jilted bride still haunts the hotel where her love and life ended.
It was like we were surrounded by the sound.
It's a world where phantoms haunt the night and tragic tales of the past come alive. When the lights go out. "300 kilometers north of San Francisco, perched between the Noyo River and the rugged coast of the Pacific Ocean, the Lodge at Noyo River is a romantic getaway for couples touring Northern California's coast.
They can get away from the pressures of the world. It's a beautiful view of the harbor or the fishing village. The house itself is 135 years old. It's a very unique place.
Year after year, guests return for the secluded rooms, breathtaking scenery, and gourmet breakfast served with a view of the harbor. But some say it's the voices from beyond that make a stay at the Lodge at Noyo truly unforgettable.
You hear a voice of a woman. You're not sure what she's saying, but you know you're not talking to yourself. Where'd you go?
Built in 1868, the Lodge is a 2-story, 5-bedroom inn.
As you go up the stairs into the 5 bedrooms upstairs, all done in old-growth redwood, built by shipwrights. It looks like an ark with the wood paneling.
The hotel was a private home until the 1940s, when the doors were opened to the first lucky hotel guests. According to legend, 2 of those guests never checked out. 60 years ago, on a beautiful summer morning, a young couple in a cherry red convertible checked into room number 5.
In the late 1940s, early 1950s, a young couple came to the Lodge at Noyo River for their honeymoon. Her dressed in a red dress and he in khaki clothing.
They were so very, very much in love, and she was so vibrant and had flowing hair and just a beautiful woman.
After exploring the lodge, the couple set out along the main motorway to watch the sunset.
They were laughing and having such a good time.
Night fell, and the couple began the drive back to the lodge. The words, "Till death us do part," still fresh on their lips.
There was a rock, and the car went up on the rock and fell over to the side. He died almost instantly, but her breath kept coming. Without recognizing yet that he had passed away, he ran up to the lodge asking for help. He loved her so much. His spirit kept going and kept running, "Help, help, please help her, please help her."
Upon hearing his cries, hotel staff ran to help. There, they found the bodies of the couple, still inside the car. When they discovered the man dead at the scene, the rescuers faced the chilling realization that the cries they had heard had come from a ghost. "50 years have passed since a young couple's life was cut short in an auto accident just outside California's Lodge at Noyo River. But staff and guests there believe the newlyweds never left, and that their ghosts remain at the lodge, searching for each other, waiting to begin their ill-fated honeymoon. According to eyewitness reports, the tragic scene plays out over and over again. A young man outside the front doors, yelling for help, desperate to save his dying wife. And as her husband searches for help outside, staff say her spirit waits for him inside the lodge.
You hear footsteps sometimes in the middle of the day or at night. Periodically, you hear voices. The radio goes on and goes off, goes on and goes off. You go home at night, the lights are off. You come in, the light is on. And you know nobody's been in the house.
Many believe the lady is waiting to be reunited with her love. But in the meantime, she won't be ignored.
We have feather comforters on all our beds. And you'll do a room, and you'll have the comforter just right. You'll leave the room, go back for an inspection, and find where someone has lain on the bed. And that has occurred in a couple of our upstairs rooms.
Guests at the lodge are encouraged to record their own experiences, and their tales fill dozens of pages in the lodge's diaries.
I thought I heard a knock on the door, and upon opening it, no one was there. There is a ghost hanging around rooms 4 and 5.
We were paid a visit by the ghost in room 4.
My husband and I came to this room from number 5. We could not sleep in there.
The entries all reveal a similar pattern. In life, the lady in red spent happy moments in room 5. But in death, she wanders, a lonely soul, ever ready to start her life as a newlywed, now doomed forever to watch others in the first flush of marital bliss.
In my early years, I would do the relief and would have to stay on property all night. And I've stayed in room 1, and I've stayed in room 4, never in room 5.
Separated in death, the couple spends eternity hoping to be reunited. Staff and guests alike hope that day will come, so the night can once more echo with the peaceful sounds of crashing waves, instead of the footsteps of wandering spirits.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. Move, Cambridge. Did you see of how the stories went back in time, Cambridge? Did you see of how the stories went back in time, and did you see of how the stories went back in time, and the people that went back in time, and also them returning as spirits also? Well, that's what I want Ghost Train to do. If it ever becomes a documentary on the Travel Channel, if it ever becomes a documentary on the Travel Channel, and that's what I want it to do. That's what I want it to do. That's what I want that is what I want Ghost Train to do, and that's what I want Glowing Eyes on the Track to do. the Yazoo and Mississippi Valley Ghost Train to do if Ghost Train ever gets put on the Travel Channel by the Travel Channel company. And like I said, if you live in if you live in the United States and you work for the Travel Channel please watch this video and please know what I'm talking about. Please know what I'm talking about. Please put Ghost Train on the Travel Channel whenever you can, okay? Okay? And make the story look like haunted hotels was, okay? Okay? All right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and I hope you guys enjoyed my example also. I'll be back later on this evening for some more Ghost Train stories and more haunted stuff and more examples also. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell. And I will see you guys later for my next video and my next haunted video, okay? Okay, bye everybody. Bye.